Because you liked the first two so much, I decided to share with you a third batch of Pokemon theories, so let's get started. Giovanni is the leader of Team Rocket and is known to be the most popular villain of the Pokemon series. But what if he's actually the good guy? In the first generation, he steals the Sylph Scope, which is a tool that lets you see Ghost-type Pokemon, and a Master Ball, which lets you catch any Pokemon without fail. Giovanni, with the help of Team Rocket, created Mewtwo, which breaks free and starts causing havoc. The Sylph Scope would let him catch a Ghost-type Pokemon, which are strong against Psychic types such as Mewtwo. And after that failed, the Master Ball was his last chance to capture Mewtwo and save the world. Giovanni tried to save the world, and you took the two items away from him that would help him stop the destruction. So maybe he's not the bad guy, but you are. Another theory revolving around Giovanni is that he supposedly committed suicide in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. After you defeat him, he runs off, but you don't hear the usual walking out of cave sound effect, but rather a splash followed by silence. Since his hideout was next to rapid water, some could assume that Game Freak was subtly implying that he jumped and ended his life. After the splash sound, the radio signals in from Goldenrod Radio Tower, where Team Rocket members ask, "Where has Giovanni gone? I wonder if he's coming." After this, Ethan says, "They keep calling their boss. I feel sorry that they don't know he's not coming," which may show that he's aware of what actually happened. Now some might argue that Giovanni just used the move Waterfall to escape, which would explain the sound effect. But unfortunately, he didn't have a single Pokemon with him that was capable of knowing that move. Believe it or not, a lot of Pokemon were named after real places and people. For example, the names Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee may sound familiar. Well, that's because their names are based off the martial artists Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee, which makes sense since they're both fighting type. Pokemon had made a lot of changes from its beta version to the final product, and one of the most interesting examples of this has to do with the Pokemon coughing and wheezing. Because they're the poison gas type Pokemon, they were originally going to be named NY and LA, in reference to how those cities are known for their smog and air pollution. Another interesting one is when you think of the meaning behind the name Mareep, you think of Merry Sheep. But also, if you rearrange the name, it spells out Ampere, who was a French physicist and mathematician who is known as one of the main founders of the science of classical electromagnetism. In the Pokemon television show, the two reoccurring members of Team Rocket are named Jesse and James, which is a reference to the real-life criminal Jesse James, who was the most famous member of the James Younger gang who terrorized the US in the 1800s. Amusingly, Snorlax's Japanese name, Kubigon, was the nickname of a Game Freak programmer by the name of Koji Nishino. The nickname comes from the time he was so hungry he ate moldy food from the office fridge. While looking up Pokemon theories, I came across something called Pokérus, that apparently is a sickness Pokemon can get in the games. At first I blew this off as some nonsense fanfiction, but it turns out to be a real thing. Starting in Generation 2, every Pokemon has about a 1 in 21,000 chance of having the virus. If a Pokemon has it, it can spread to other Pokemon and it can't be healed, but rather it will go away by itself. So you may ask, what does this virus do? Well, when a Pokemon has the Pokérus, it gains double the effort values from battling, so in the Pokemon universe, it's good to get sick. If you thought the chances of getting the Pokérus were high, you're in for a surprise. The Pokemon Spinda may not seem like anything great, except for the fact that its distinct spots are different depending on the personality value assigned to it. This means that Spindas have 4,294,967,296 different spot combinations. I would call Spinda the Snowflake Pokemon, since no two are alike, but thanks to Generation 5, there is a Pokemon that literally is a gigantic snowflake. So good job, Game Freak. On a final note, some have noticed a similarity in the music from Pokemon Black and White's Icarus City and the Beatles song You've Got to Hide Your Love Away. But don't take my word for it, have a listen for yourself.
Here I stand, head in hand, turn my face to the wall. If she's gone, I can't go on, feeling 2 foot small. Everywhere people stare, each and every day, I can see them laugh at me, and I hear them say,
So those were even more fascinating Pokemon theories. And as always, if you have any other thoughts, please feel free to leave a comment below. So thanks for watching.